I'm currently working my way through every single Disney film chronologically, and it came to the time when I reached Old Yeller, and I wasn't looking forward to it, and I thought, well, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do it, and in a way, I'm pleased I did because it's a pretty wonderful film. It's not brilliant. There's some of the treatment of some of the animals I just think is not that great. I can't imagine it was being too fun to be an animal on the set of that film. But aside from that, it's got a nice narrative, some really nice character development. Old Yeller is a wonderful dog. And I don't want to talk about the ending or spoil it, so I'm going to talk about the scene. And you will know exactly which scene I mean, but I won't say any more than that. I will just call it the scene, and I'll discuss that kind of pussyfooting around the facts because I don't want to spoil anything. I knew what happened in this film, which is why I didn't want to watch it, but I think they handled it quite well. This is, of course, a Disney film released in 1957, directed by Robert Stevenson, written by William Tunberg and Fred Gipson. And we have a great cast, including Tommy Kirk as Travis and Kevin Corcoran as Arliss and Dorothy McGuire as their mother Katie. And it's about a dog called Old Yeller. And I know why he's called Old Yeller now, because he's old and he's yellow. Yeller. He's a blonde dog. He's Yeller. I don't know why that amused me, but I genuinely didn't think that's the reason behind his name. So I gained some knowledge, which I liked. And to begin with, this dog actually has quite an interesting start. It's not love at first sight. The dog causes a bit of problems with one of the horses, but the youngest son really takes to him, and the eldest son, Travis, kind of pretends to not love this dog. It's very clear that actually over time he grows to love him, but he's putting up a front and just kind of, I guess, seems to persevere with it, but actually, he's clearly very fond of the dog over time. And it's all about their farm life and spending time with Old Yeller and the various problems that they encounter. There are a lot of bears in this film, a lot of bears. There's a particular scene with a cow where the cow's tied up and it seems to be really struggling to get free. And I kind of thought that's I don't know too much about cows, but that doesn't look very animal friendly to me. So there were definitely quite a few moments where I thought the treatment of animals in this film isn't great. So that's just something to bear in mind when you're watching it. There are some adorable puppies, though. One particular adorable puppy that I rather loved. The scene where they're talking about swapping Old Yeller, it's not really a spoiler as such, but that scene I thought was beautiful. It was brilliantly done. It was very moving and sentimental, and I think handled beautifully. When it came to the scene, I think it was handled well. They didn't drag it out for too long. It wasn't too graphic. And having said that, it was still very emotional and kind of broke me a little bit because I knew it was coming. It wasn't. I think it wasn't as emotional as it could have been, but it made the rest of the film emotional, or more emotional than it would have been. So it balanced out. But it's a very well done film, very sentimental, very moving, very difficult to watch at certain points, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It is worth watching, but if, like me, you don't like animal films for these reasons, then it's not going to be the easiest film to watch. However, if, like me, you've been putting it off, but you're kind of curious about it, I'd say it's worth watching. It's on Disney Plus, and I probably won't ever watch it again, not because it's not a good film, but because it's difficult. But I'd say it's worth watching once.